All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another interview here at the African American Automotive Association booth at the 2024 SEMA Show. I'm here with somebody I've known for almost 20 years,
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali. No, but it's crazy. I've known him for such a long time, but early on, I didn't realize how deep he was in the car game.
Yeah.
And this man is a guru at classic car builds. And unfortunately, he's a big fan of the LS platform, so he wants to put it in anything. Well, my man Terry, he's here. Cover man, what, 666? Here we go.
666 in the house. Yeah, like you said, many, and it's a shame because we were always like maybe within 5 miles of each other.
Yeah.
And I never knew. I mean, we played ball together. We've been in a lot of the same situations, same scenarios. And I never knew that you were a car guy, and especially this. And it's an honor to be here, man.
It's funny. One day, because I coached my son's flag football team, and your son was
out
there
there.
too.
Yes.
So I'll never forget. One day, I'm on the field, and I hear engines start, and I'm looking like, "What is that?" And I had no idea it was the Rango.
It was a trailblazer.
It was the Trailblazer. Excuse me, the Trailblazer. I'm looking around trying to see what car's making that noise, and I just couldn't see it. And meanwhile, it was you and your Trailblazer.
Well, you never knew this. I wanted my son to be coached by you.
Oh, really?
Because we had a horrible coach, and I was just like, how can I get drafted? I'm gonna get my boy drafted to your team. So I wanted him to definitely be on your team because I know that you got it going on when it comes to football.
We won like 3 or 4 championships in a row.
We came in second. We got defeated by your team. That's what it was. So it's all good, man. So I didn't know that you were in the car game as heavy as you are.
Yeah.
Man.
It honestly didn't start off that way, but I've always been passionate about cars. But it's dope to learn about when did you really get started. I mean, you have a huge social media presence. You have huge relationships in this industry, and a lot of people look to you to the work that you do for these classic cars and restoring them, because sometimes you'll just take shit boxes and you turn them into drivable, actually better than probably what they came off from factory. So when did this all start for you?
Well, you probably didn't know, but when summer school, because you went to Rockland, so summer school, as far as vacation time, I used to always go to South Carolina.
Oh.
Now, my uncle, we have a homestead, and it's got like 40 acres, and my uncle was always down there. And I'm going old school, pulling engines out with chains and trees.
Yeah.
I'm going back that way. And the cars that you see on Barrett Jackson going for like $60,000, $90,000, $100,000, he had them. He had them. So at the age of like 11, I'm sitting up there driving these cars on the dirt road to South Carolina. And I'm talking about not automatics, but about sticks.
Yeah.
And his car was the A-bodies. He always loved the Chevelles. More so the Oldsmobile, the Buick, and the Skylark GSX, and the GTO. That was his car. And so from just hanging out with this guy and my uncle, rest his soul, I miss him so much, you get the bug.
Yeah.
But I still think you're always born with that bug. Because, it's you can see the beauty in any car. I'm sure you're more import, but you can see the beauty in a Nova.
Any car. Yeah,
you can see the
absolutely.
beauty. It's like I'm more GM, Ford, whatever, but I can see the beauty in a Porsche.
Yep.
So if you're a car guy, you're born with that car gene, and we born with that car gene.
Yeah.
And so it was easy to gravitate to admiring the car, to do a little bit of training, to actually building the car. And I knew at an early age these cars are going to go up. So that's why I bought them, and I like them crusty, because that's how you hone your skills. And it's thankful for like the sponsors that come and give you the parts. But see, I want to clear that up. When I say give you the parts, you're working for it.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that, hey, you getting these parts and they're brand new and you didn't have to do nothing for them. No, you gotta put them on the car. You gotta do videos on it, not just one, maybe 2. Make sure it's to their satisfaction. And then you got to go and you edit it, and then you got to put the music. So it's more than just, oh, I got this part, let me slap it on. No, you got to be creative.
What made you get into that, like understanding that, especially with like YouTube and things? Because it's one thing to repair these vehicles in your garage, like many of us have done.
Yep.
But now to decide, like, okay, I'm gonna turn into YouTube to use this to try and turn this into a business to make revenue. Like, when did that start for you?
It was probably sometime around maybe 2011. I used to have like a shop where it was more of a man cave. One Saturday, me and my boys, about 6 or 7 of them, we were just out there wrenching. It was a nice day. We were feeling good. We were working on all of our cars and everything like that. I looked up and I said, you know what? There's too much talent in this one garage not to do something. Do a TV show. Try just do something.
Yeah.
And it's sad because everyone at that time, they were like, yeah, let's do it. Come time, okay, we're gonna start Saturday. So I went out and got cameras and stuff like that. And here come the excuses. Here come the excuses. So the girl that I was dating, she was like, well, why don't you just do it yourself? Why do you need them? You open the door for them. But if they don't come through the door, that means they're not really there.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, won't you post it? Because I would post it on, email and send it to a couple of guys my car guys that moved away. And she said, well, why don't you do it on YouTube real quick and make it private so only the people you send it can see. One day when I started, you saw the white Chevelle starting, I got so keyed up where I forgot to make it private and it went public. That was the beginning
That was the beginning of Coverman.
That was it.
An accident.
That
was the beginning.
From an ex-girlfriend, which, by the way, is my wife now.
Oh, see, the universe works perfectly.
Yes.
She knew what was good for you,
She
man.
knew what was up.
That's awesome, man. So it's amazing that you have taken an accident and turned this into a career, and you did it by just getting started, right? You just jumped out the window, and an accidental public display on a setting on YouTube has turned you into somebody that people look at for restoration help and tips, and that's awesome, man.
And with that responsibility, I always try to present the best positive, because I got like I think over 400 videos, and not one will you find a curse. Not one will you find a curse. And
that's talent, because I can't do that.
No, not one. I mean, like, and there's been a couple times where it came close, you hit your hammer, you thumb with a hammer. But the fact is that you stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
And you always look to inspire, because there was one guy who, when I was learning how to play drums when I was little, he was a nice guy, neighbor next door. He played drums, and I wanted to play drums, but I couldn't take lessons. But he said, I tell you what I'll do. I'll give you the lessons. But if ever you're in a situation where you can do it, do it. Give someone else some lessons. And that carried over, even with the car thing. If ever anyone wants some help or whatever, I'm always there. I have been known to even go to people's houses, because they text me, hey, I have this problem, such and such and such and such. I'm like, oh, where do you live? I said, oh, I'm living in this town. I was like, oh, that's like, like a half hour away.
Yeah.
I get in my car and I go over and help my man get his car going.
That's so dope, man.
Because you know what it is? Because I know what it's like to actually have someone come over here and actually get the car going, where you sitting up there and you're just so thankful because someone is coming to help me get my car rolling. So I do that for anyone.
That's awesome, man. And it's crazy. You mentioned it before. Big shout out to the 845. Big shout out to Rockland County. We are two brothers from that. I grew up, born and raised in the Bronx. I was acting up. My parents took me to Rockland County. I hated it, but it was the best decision that they ever made for my life. So big shout out to Rockland County. We out here representing for you guys at SEMA. Tell the people where they can find more about you.
Well, first of all, I'm from the Bronx too.
Here we go. We outside.
Bruckner.
We outside.
Now you can catch me on Instagram. I'm Terry LSX. Terry LSX on Instagram. On YouTube, I'm Coverman66. And when you go to Facebook, it's Terry Wilson. Terry Wilson. And look for the guy that looks like Muhammad Ali. And on TikTok, it's Coverman66. That LS Resto guy.
And he floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee.
My man.